Prime Minister Mark Carney is joining Canada's premiers tonight here in Prince Edward Island, and they're eager to hear his plan after the United States threatened new 50% tariffs.
There's no doubt our conversation with the Prime Minister tomorrow will have a new level of urgency. We're looking forward to sharing our priorities tomorrow and working with the Prime Minister to ensure Canadians see a strong, united approach as we focus on protecting workers, farmers, fishers, businesses, and all Canadians.
Tim Houston is the Premier of Nova Scotia, and he joins me now. Premier, good to see you. Thanks for taking some time.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, what is your sense now after hearing from the Prime Minister yesterday, meeting with the Premiers today, of just where the Council of the Federation is on this latest trade assault?
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody wants to get through this and get to a deal, for sure. The stakes are incredibly high. Canadians know that. We feel it, too. And I have great faith in the team that's doing the negotiations. I think that as the United States kind of continues to ratchet things up, which is obviously what they're doing, to me it actually feels like we're closer to a deal. It's almost like they're pushing because they're trying to frame something a certain way, and I believe that this has been a great trading relationship. It's a two-way street. It benefits Americans, it benefits Canadians. We have to get past this, but it's definitely high stakes at the moment.
Well, the U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, he testified at a Senate committee in the States today, and he said his hope is to have something to put in front of the President by the end of this year.
Yeah.
And that talks will go into 27. I mean, that doesn't sound like we're close, Premier.
No, but everything that comes out of they're in a negotiation, right? So we know how this administration works. They're always trying to frame things for where they want to get to. So I just have to think it's all part of the process from their perspective. This is creating a lot of uncertainty, not just in Canada, in the United States. And people that are making investment decisions are watching this uncertainty, and it's not good. It's not good for Americans. It's not good for Canadians. So I think I still feel like we're seeing a lot of posturing, and then that's posturing for a negotiation, and hopefully that negotiation is soon.
So what do you want to see or hear from Prime Minister Mark Carney tomorrow? Because I know the meeting yesterday was more of an overview of where they saw things and how you need to prepare for the next 28, 29 days. What do you need to see more granularity tomorrow?
Well, I think a couple things. I think the premiers are pretty unanimous that we want a comprehensive deal. We don't want any kind of piecemeal stuff, right? So let's focus.
Do you think the Americans want that, though? They keep trying to peel out parts of the economy, the exact leverage.
I think it's all the posturing, it's all the leverage, right? So we all want to get to a comprehensive deal. I feel that we do, and I think they do too. So that's part of it for sure. But also, this is a good teaching moment. Like, we have to diversify our economy. So in Nova Scotia, we're pushing hard, new markets, new opportunities. So we're using this as a moment for our province, but for our country as well. So I just want to make sure the focus stays on that. Major projects, opportunities, diversifying trade, getting rid of those interprovincial trade barriers, which is like
eventually
like whack-a-mole. But I think just really get a better appreciation for the game plan from the federal government, I guess.
Look, it's clear there's a lot of unanimity on sort of the domestic priorities, build out the economy, diversify trade, all the things that we can control, to borrow the phrase. And there is definitely unanimity on the end point with the United States. It's the path along the way where there seems to be maybe some misalignment or disagreements, right? Like Premier Ford says, go hard, go dollar for dollar, use oil, use energy, use potash, use all of it. And the provinces with those are like, absolutely not. I mean, how does that affect things going forward?
Yeah, I think everyone is on the same page that this is going to be a tough negotiation, right? And I think everyone, knowing that it's a tough negotiation, we're all adults. We know that you need some leverage points, and you have to have something to put on the table. So I think we're just approaching that a little differently. But I do agree that the stakes are so high. We have to be focused on the things we can control, and some of those are parts of that trading relationship. But I'm personally not getting too much in the details on that. I'm just trying to. I'm not at the table, so I don't know the exact discussions. So I don't want to try to weigh in from too far abroad. But I do want to have appreciation for what we're willing to do as a country.
Right, and so that's what I guess I'm trying to understand. And I know no one wants to lay out all their strategy in public. It's a poor way to do things, but the Prime Minister did suggest that we need to prepare as a country for there not being a deal at the end of this 28 days, and to look at where we have points of leverage. And the obvious ones are the areas that were exempted from the tariffs, like potash, energy, and critical minerals. But that's a big hit to provincial economies, and that circular firing squad nature of tariffs comes into play. So if you can't use the real big trump cards in this, how do you exert the leverage on the United States?
Yeah, so I think there's a number of cards. Some of them you've mentioned, but
Defense
I think
procurement would be another.
Yeah, there's
right?
all kinds of, like, we're neighbors. Like, so neighbors have lots of relationships back and forth. So, but I think for me it's just like having some giving the team the space. So one thing we've taken U.S. alcohol off the shelves. But I've been very clear with the negotiating team, if there's a point that needs to end, or it's helpful to our country to end that, tell me when that is. But until then, it's not coming off the shelf.
So you're willing to do it if it's what Canada wants, not just because the U.S. is
I
mad.
think that's the sentiment that everyone is approaching it. So give the team some space to negotiate, have some trust in them, know there's a role for each of us, and be ready to play that role when the time comes.
Okay, we got a quick 30 seconds. I know all the premiers wanted to answer the question today about healthcare and jumped in on that. I know the goal before this latest was to get a conversation with the Prime Minister on that ahead of the budget. Do you think you're going to get that space and be able to deal with that given the new urgency of what's happening?
Oh, there's lots of moving parts, but healthcare is a pretty significant concern for Canadians as well. In Nova Scotia, we have made some pretty incredible progress. We're proud of the work. We're down to 6% of our population that's unattached.
Right.
Like, on the one hand, we need those 6% to be attached, and I want that.
Yeah.
But wow, 6%, that's some pretty amazing progress. So I don't think we should be ashamed to acknowledge that either. So the partnership with the federal government can pay dividends in delivering health care for Nova Scotians and Canadians. So we want them there, and I'm sure we'll be pushing hard to make that part of the discussion at any table, including tomorrow.
Okay, Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston, good to see you, sir. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.